Ghostly, haunting, chilling to the bone. Paranormal at Dusk was born from an insatiable curiosity to explore the unknown. Welcome to an eerily fun podcast episode with Paranormal Podcast at Dusk. Happy haunting. Hello and welcome to Paranormal at Dusk. If you're listening on Spotify to Paranormal Podcast at Dusk, welcome, welcome. We are here to talk all things ghostly, haunting, and chilling to the bone. With me today is a very special guest, my dad.
How you doing?
Say hi, everyone.
Hey.
Hello. I always do the same thing. Say hi, everyone, like somebody's going to answer. Welcome. How do you feel being on a podcast?
First time.
First time.
First time.
Yeah. I mean, first time probably like on video for anything.
Yes, definitely, for sure.
Aside from your like little cameo from when I was on The Next Star.
Oh, yeah.
At the finale, you can see you guys in the crowd. That's all I can think of.
I'd be the second time then.
Yeah, his second time. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Glad to be here.
So, as per usual, I like to start my podcast with whoever I have on with me. I like to start from the beginning. So since we're talking paranormal, do you have any paranormal stories from childhood?
Childhood, I have the Ouija board incident.
Okay, let's go there. Let's start
So I was
there.
like probably between 16, 17 years old. There was a party that we all went to. Like, not really a party, like a group of us went to a friend of mine's family's cottage. So anyway, they had one girl there. She was right into the Ouija board thing, and I believed in ghosts. I always watched movies and stuff, but never really experienced anything personally. So anyway, I was just all, well, just join in with the crowd. So she brought out the Ouija board, and of course there was always the one guy in the group that was, you know, when they're moving their hands around the board, well, they were moving it.
Okay.
So we're like, okay, guys, you know, she was getting kind of frustrated. So anyway, the other guy there, he chilled out because she was getting mad. But anyway, then when she really started to do it, you could really feel it move. So I was like,
Were you touching it?
yeah.
You did? Oh.
So it was hovering, kind of like gliding, whatever. And it was like, okay, well, this is pretty trippy.
You're like, this is not me.
Yeah, I'm like, we're not really moving it, and it's moving. So anyway, so she started asking it questions and stuff. And one of the guys, you know, she was going around the room getting them to ask questions. So the one that was moving the board, being a character, he got it upset.
Okay.
That's what I gather. So anyway, there was lights. The lights were completely off in the cottage. So it was dark, and they had a couple candles trying to give it the ambiance or whatever. So when he had made the comment or whatever, I can't remember exactly what it was.
But he was trying to piss it off.
Yeah.
Basically.
Like
Okay.
on purpose.
Yeah.
So when he did that, things started to happen. Like the lights started to flicker, and the lights were off. Like there was no light on. So it kind of flickered. We're all like, you know, I was really starting to get tripped out.
You're like, do I still need to touch this?
Yeah. So anyway, at one point he made another comment, and the lights got like more bright than what the bulbs could handle, and they blew. They
my God.
They exploded. So I remember this when they exploded. I made a beeline to the car. I went through that front door of the cottage, ran down the steps, and opened my door of my car, and I got in there, closed the doors. 3 other guys come out, and they were trying to get in the car. I would not open the door. No way.
Like,
not for the life of me. You're on your own. Doors are locked. They're like, let us in. I'm like, no way. And yeah, that was,
Oh, that's terrifying.
yeah, that was
The
super
flickering,
terrifying.
like, could be explained, but where the bulbs literally, like, exploded, that's crazy.
Like they exploded.
That's
Like just
nuts.
like, poosh.
Yeah. No, you guys definitely contacted something.
Yeah.
Something unhappy.
So from that point on there, complete believer.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
That's what I was
totally.
going to ask. Are you, like, fully a believer now?
100%.
Yeah.
I have
Okay.
that engraved it right in stone there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, now that I know this, you mother. At at the red house. You mocked me so much.
So much.
Oh, you were like,
You know, it was just a thought of me. I'm like,
awful.
oh, it's, you know,
oh,
teenager, you know,
that was awful.
yeah.
Did you at first believe me and you were just like, or were you like not really believing me till later on?
Till later on.
Yeah, okay. I remember, I think the pivotal moment for like you being like, okay, aside from your experience,
Yeah.
where you saw that I was really, really upset. I remember I was maybe like, this was near the end, so I was probably 15 or 16, and I went to sleep in the living room on the couch,
Yeah.
and you came in, and you had made a comment. You were like, "Oh, it's the cows haunting
Yeah,
you,"
yeah.
because there shouldn't be anything haunting you
No.
in that area, right?
No.
I remember I swore at you. I was so mad. I think in that moment you were like, oh, she's like actually upset.
For
She's
real.
not like faking it at this point.
Yeah.
So I think that's when you were like, oh, and then you kind of like apologized and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt or whatever.
Especially when a few times we woke up and you're laying on the floor in the bedroom. I'm like, okay, this is getting serious.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm a grown teenager at this point. I
Yeah.
wasn't like a tiny child.
yeah. And at that
You
point
know.
there, I still didn't have my incident yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it kind of all played into effect, especially when I had mine. I'm like, whoa.
You're like, oh, so she wasn't lying.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't the cows.
No, it wasn't the cows.
So do you want to tell the guests what happened to you?
So you guys were all gone now. I believe
We
you
went
guys.
to Maine.
Huh?
We went to Maine.
Was that where it was?
Yeah.
You went to Maine?
Mhm.
Okay. So I was home alone, and I had to work that weekend or whatever. So I was home alone and doing the guy thing. I just whatever, using the washroom. Bathroom door was open, never closed it, and at an angle, your room was across. So
Yeah,
I
you could see really.
plain as day.
Yeah.
So both dogs were laying by the tub, and I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden, it was either a pencil or a pen, and all of a sudden, I remember when I went in there, I'd closed the windows. It was starting to get cool out, so the notepad and the pencil were almost dead center
Of my bed.
of your bed.
Yeah, I always kept it there.
Yeah.
I used to
so-
write songs
Yeah,
and
it
I
was
put it there.
dead center. So
Yeah.
I knew where it was. Anyway, all of a sudden, and like the pencil, I'll just say the pencil. So the pencil, it just didn't roll, like it fell onto the floor and then it rolled like at a fairly steady pace. So it wasn't like it just
Fell
fell.
off. Like,
And we had no cats, just two dogs.
yeah.
So I was like, what? What? The windows were closed because I had
Yeah,
closed
yeah.
them because it was getting
No, but
cold.
even at that, you have to think, like, my bedspread is fluffy.
Exactly.
The pencil and notepad are in the middle of the bed.
Yeah.
There would have to be force for it to roll off the bed. and
Especially the
fall
way
off.
it did. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Right after that happened too, and the windows were closed, it shut, like
The door shut.
completely closed.
Yeah.
Like,
The bedroom door.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I'm done.
You know that happened to me, right?
Yes.
I did speak about it in my intro episode to let people know where like everything started for me. So me and Justin used to sneak and play on our DSs. One night, I at first, this is the beginning years, would sleep with my door closed. I always did.
Right.
I don't know why. That's what I was used to. So my door was always closed, and so Justin would open my door. So I'm awake and I see my door knob twist open, and the door open, and there's no arm. And at first I wasn't scared, I was confused, but I figured, oh, he wants me to go to his room to talk.
Right.
So I'm grinning because I'm sneaking, because we weren't supposed to be playing games.
Right.
So I'm all excited that tonight we're going to play on our DSs. We would hide it under our pillow. I creep in there and Justin's passed out,
asleep.
drooling on his pillow. So now I'm freaked out. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, who opened my door? So I go back to my bedroom. I won't go like super heavy into detail because I've already explained it to
Right.
everyone else. But I went back into my bedroom and I closed the door and I've got my eyes wide open. So I'm not asleep. I just got up and checked on Justin. Eyes are wide open and I watched that freaking door, the doorknob twist again. It opened about 4 or 5 inches and slammed shut.
Yeah.
So like,
That's creepy.
and I did see an apparition after, but I think like that one, I'm not 100% sure if it was like, because I was scared that the door happened, that I imagined the woman. I don't know. So that bit, I can't say for sure if I really saw the woman or if I was like scared in the moment and imagined it.
Right.
But the door, my eyes were wide open. I was fully awake. I went to see Justin. Justin was passed out.
Right.
So, you know, that really happened.
I've never seen anything with my eyes. No shadows, no anything. But your mom's cousin had told me, I don't know how, at a family reunion, something we were talking, and I told him my experience, and he had said that he had saw your grandfather walking across in the back.
My great-grandfather,
Great-grandfather,
right?
yeah.
Pepe's
So,
dad.
but I've not personally ever seen anything. Just what happened to me there that one time, and it was only the one time.
But you saw the door shut, yeah?
Oh, you heard it.
You heard it.
You heard it. I saw it and I heard it.
Oh,
like,
okay.
It was,
So
it was
you-
like, it was not just like...
It was a
didn't just-
slam.
Yeah.
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 That's what it was for me too.
Yeah.
It's unreal. Like you're like sitting there and you're not believing it, but you saw it, you heard it, so you have to believe it. It's hard to wrap your mind around those kinds of things.
The weird thing about it was it never happened again, and I don't know why. To me, anyway. It just, I don't know. I got no explanation.
To me, I almost feel like because I wasn't there, like, and everyone else was gone, it was like, let me prove to you that I am here. You know, because you were very much like no, there's nothing happening at this point, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was like, haha, it's my time to shine.
Could be. Well, it shined.
It shined.
It shined.
Yeah. Did anything else happen after then, or that was it?
At that
You
house,
said that
that
was
was
it.
the only thing. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the only thing. Where we're living now, though, no, I don't know if Mom's really experiencing anything, but one time I was just sitting and this is recently too, and a couple months ago, it was this summer, anyway, had the ceiling fan on, watching TV, both dogs, Mom was in the shower, both dogs were laying with me, and so when the ceiling fan, when you hit the remote, the lights will flash to signal that you change the setting on the fan, and then it will do its thing, whatever setting. So anyway, the remote for the fan was on Mom's end table, not near me at all.
Okay.
So, watching TV, and all of a sudden the lights flickered, and I heard tick tick, the signal, and then the fan went in reverse. And there was
You have to click the buttons for it. Like
have
that's
to click
completely
the buttons, either the remote or on the wall.
yeah. And
And-
it was just you.
Just me and the two dogs in the living room.
Yeah.
So I was like, I told Mom about it.
That's
I'm
like, that's suspicious.
yeah,
Something's going on.
yeah. And then one other time, we were that other house, that the duplex that we lived in. So we were in that room, and you and Justin were on a cot, and me and Mom were on another cot or whatever. Both dogs were with us, and it was quiet. And all of a sudden, both dogs started growling. We're like, quiet, quiet, whatever. Anyway, both Diego and Misha were still growling, and all of a sudden, like, there was a motion sensor like in the hallway or whatever,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and it went, bing ding, and I was like,
That happened a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's freaky.
got up, opened the door, nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that was kind
I've
of tricky.
experienced that too, where the
That was
motion
kinda
sensor would go off. Yeah. Well, that duplex,
100%.
that's haunted.
That was probably the creepiest place.
For you didn't get haunted in your bedroom where you slept at
True.
night.
For like,
That duplex, I mean, I experienced a lot. The attic was like more benevolent. Benevolent. I don't know how I just said that, but it didn't come out. Whatever was in the attic was more benevolent. Like, more like, I wasn't like creeped out, like something was trying to harm me or anything. But the basement, I
creeped you
didn't.
right out.
Yeah. No, I felt like every time I went up the stairs to the basement, something was like following me up the stairs. And
Right.
no, that place was freaky. But I always had that sense that there was something creepy. And then on one fateful night, me, Megan, and Justin were sleeping in the basement. We decided to have a sleepover and we slept in the basement.
Right.
And we used to have a curtain up just dividing like where the hallway begins in that room, because it was kind of like a living room, but in the basement.
In the basement, I remember.
Yeah. So there was a curtain, and the dogs were sleeping with us. Okay. Justin's already asleep.
Right.
Megan is like almost asleep, but the TV was still on. We were watching Land Before Time on an old TV. Mind you, we're like 18, 19, 16, like something like that.
Right.
So I start like feeling a presence, like something's creeping around.
Right.
And I'm like, what is going on? I'm feeling this like grossed out, creepy. And then the dogs start growling, and they're looking towards the curtain where I'm feeling something's there.
Something's there. And
all of a sudden the curtains start billowing. We're in a basement, no windows open, like there's no breeze.
Right.
It's fully just like a dank basement with no air, basically. So the curtain starts moving, the dogs are growling, and when animals start getting involved, that's where you know. You know. So then I'm freaking out. I'm tapping Megan. I wake her up, and she sees it. She starts crying. So Megan's
sounds like Megan.
She's full out crying, and she's trying to wake up Justin, who is not waking up. Justin was knocked out, which always seems to be the case with him. So anyway, I finally yelled for you guys. You guys were upstairs, just one level above us. I yelled for you guys, and you guys were trying to get downstairs, and the door was locked.
The door was locked.
Which is, like, weird.
And
so finally you came downstairs, and, like, obviously nobody was down there.
No, but you guys were clearly shaken up.
There was something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it definitely felt really dark in the basement. Yeah, that's another place that we lived that was really creepy.
Yeah, that had a few experiences here, and that one felt creepy compared to like the other ones. Is just like innocent or childish, like except for the Ouija board thing. When that's a different thing altogether. But I mean, as far as homes we lived in, there was something about that place that kind of didn't feel as innocent or I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely felt more like a malevolent presence. And there was no room that wasn't haunted to me. I felt like everywhere, even the bathroom. Like, I think it's just whatever was around was roaming.
Right.
Yeah, that place had a lot of activity. Like, even the attic, I would go up there. We had kept, like, costumes and stuff in storage. And Justin had these Hulk smash gloves that you had to go boom, and it would go Hulk smash.
Yeah.
Like, the gloves were completely separate in bins, and I walked up there, and all of a sudden, Hulk smash, like, and like old birthday cards that make music would go off. Like, there was a lot of things, but the attic, I didn't feel like I was in danger, whereas the basement, I did not feel comfortable. Yeah. So that's like living situations. It's pretty creepy.
Pretty creepy.
It makes me wonder, like, I know there is like residual energy, which is like all the people who've been there before, whether like passed away or not, like you bring energy to places. So there's even like just people coming and going, like even visitors, never mind people who lived in those houses or whatever. They could have brought something in with them.
Possible.
Like, who knows?
Who knows?
But it's definitely interesting. There's always something somewhere. It's freaky.
Freaky. I agree.
So you're fully a believer.
Fully a believer.
It's not the cows.
It is definitely not the cows.
Well, I think that about wraps up this episode. Thank you so much for coming on.
Glad to be here.
It was very nice chatting.
I can't wait to see this this channel grow.
Yeah. Hopefully we catch some more cows on camera.
There you go.
Thank you so much for watching Paranormal at Dusk here on YouTube. And if you're listening on Spotify at Paranormal Podcast at Dusk, thank you so much for listening. Happy haunting.